Okay, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a try. What I'm doing here is I'm letting you look over my shoulder while I just do a little bit of what I do on the computer. Uh, let's see, let's just hide all these windows, and this is my Linux Ubuntu desktop. This is one of my astrophotographs that I have as a background here. This is the little star cloud and some dust lanes looking towards a portion of the Milky Way. And you can see I've got some folders and application launchers, and up here's my little menu bar and all that, and there's, you know, so there's a menu, and there's places and network menu, and there's system administration menu and preferences menu and all the rest of that. And over here is where, you know, where I log in and out, and calendar and email and volume control for the audio system. Look over here in applications, sound and video, it's in Me TV. Excuse me, this accesses my digital video card, and if we're lucky enough to have actually a program that we can pick up. So this Criminal Minds is on right now. So
what do you do with all the diapers?
Get more odor control.
So, you know, of course, there you go.
We're now offering large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each, Monday through Wednesday carryout.
Jesus. Okay, so so you can watch television. Now you can watch that in a window if you like. That's, you know, not really a particular problem. And you've got, you know, all your standard little old mouse button functions and all that stuff. You can, you know, select areas or select multiple icons just like you do on a Windows system. And neat thing is, you see this little icon down here? That's my multiple desktops. I have 4 desktops available, and it just so happens that I'm excuse me, I have allergies. On this desktop I'm looking at this is a webcam that I've got pointed out the window. So this is the front porch and the front the street out in front of the house here. So this is the mailbox, and so I can see anybody that comes up the walk there, or I can take a picture of them if I like. And all that's happening on one desktop, while on this desktop I'm looking at the internet and all that. And if I want to see what my system performance is like, I can just pull the system performance monitor down, and I can see what kind of, this is like the Windows Task Manager, except this actually works. We have nice graphs of resources. Of course, this is got both CPUs going on here, and memory and swap history and network history and all of that. So I have the information on this screen that you wish the Windows System Task Manager would give you, but doesn't. Like, for example, all of your processes, and you can actually see all your processes here and make them stop, unlike with a Windows Task Manager. Okay, and this is my browser. This is Windows I'm sorry, this is Mozilla Firefox is what this is. You can tell, you know, and there's this is a screenshot of the back of my head from my laboratory that I'm displaying here on one of the web pages that I'm looking at right now. But anyway, you can, you know, surf and do all that stuff. That's not really a problem. But what I do a lot is I work with video files. So I've actually just downloaded a video file from my Panasonic camera, the same one that I'm taking this on. And when it comes out of the camera, it has a designation like this, MOV.006, except then it says .MOD, which the Linux system thinks is an Amiga audio file, and it won't play it. So what you have to do is just change the extension to MPG or MP4, and then when you double-click on your movie file that you've gotten from your camera, it will play in the native application. But because it's Panasonic, you know, you don't have the Panasonic software in there, so you have to tell it the correct aspect ratio. All right. So this is just the raw video right from the Panasonic camera. As you can see, it's nice high definition. Without any Panasonic software, all you have to do is just change the file name extension, and it plays. But it's high definition video, and it comes out in a huge file size. You see the file size here is 11 11 megabytes just for that short little MPG clip. So we use a free Linux utility called WinFF. This also runs on Windows. It's a great little file conversion, video file conversion utility. And so you simply just take your Move06 down in there and drop it in here. Remove the one that you don't want to convert. That's one I did a little bit earlier. Be sure and tell it the aspect ratio, because this again is a Panasonic file. It doesn't have the aspect ratio information in it. And then you have all kinds of options to select the directory that you want to go to, and all kinds of options to select the target, and all kinds of options to select the type of conversion that you want to make, and so there are all kinds of options that you can do. You can crop your video, change audio settings, and things like that. And then when you do convert a video like this with this utility, you get a command line. Oh my God, Linux command line. But you don't have to interact with it, because this is the GUI, the front end, for the Linux back end that actually does the conversion for you. And it's already done. It converted that little video quite quickly. And as you can see over here, we have it now in Ubuntu AVI from 11 megabytes down to 1.6 megabytes. And let's click it. And now it comes up and the aspect ratio is correct. And this is full screen, and we can see we lost a little bit of resolution here, but not really very much. Probably we've lost less resolution in this conversion than you are going to lose when I convert this present video and upload it. Okay, so that's handling video, and I also, as you know, I do high-resolution astronomical photography, obviously. All right. And one of the things that I do is I do DSLR from my Canon camera. Let me see if I can find some actual. Well, at any rate. Oh, Maggie! There she is. There's my girl. So I take pictures, and you know, there's a dog. I thought I had some astronomy in here somewhere. There's a picture of my Moonlight camera. So what I'm doing is I'm just double-clicking on the file name in the directory, and it opens in the native Linux picture viewer. And then if I want to do some editing or something, I go up here to Image, Open With, GIMP Image Editor, and groovy, yeah, and here comes up the GIMP. Notice that this is already been edited. That's a smaller JPEG, but now I have full-on editing capability in the GIMP, and this is very, very Photoshop-like. You can do anything you want to, like cropping and resizing, just as you would in ordinary. I mean, this is what it is. It's a full-service image editing suite. The GIMP. Okay. So anyhow, quit. Let's quit that. Discard changes. Okay, so now there's all that. Now those are all programs that normally run under Linux anyway. But suppose we want to run a program that is not designed to run under Linux, that we want to run a Windows program, like for example Nebulosity. Nebulosity is a astrophotography package that controls the telescope and the camera through USB ports, and does a little bit of image editing and takes some pictures. Okay, and so, but it does not have a Linux version. So what we do is we run it under Wine, which means Windows is not emulated. Okay, so Wine allows us then to actually use Windows programs to run under Linux, and you get to see what you get. Now this is one of the photographs that I took of the sun while I was waiting for the Venus transit, and I think you can see there are a few little sunspots in there. Okay, so here we're running a Windows image editing program that has the capability of editing 32-bit per color, so 96-bit per pixel files from astronomical photography cameras. Excuse me. And this is running under a Windows not emulated, but an application Wine that allows you to run Windows programs on Linux. Okay, and it works. I mean, it does everything that it's supposed to do. You can change all everything you want and all that. Do all of your image editing and camera control work and sequence camera activity from this program if you like. Okay, and a much more sophisticated program for image editing under Linux, or rather under Windows, is PixInsight LE. Now, PixInsight LE is probably the most sophisticated program that I have running on this machine, and it is not a Linux program. It's a Windows program, and so there are occasional little non-Windows behaviors that it does, but it is fully usable and works to do whatever you want it to do in the world of image editing. If I can find an example for you, I will. Okay, now this is a stack of the astrophotographs that I took of the Ring Nebula. This is before a lot of processing has been done to it, and you can just barely see the Ring Nebula right in there. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to get a new preview. So I select that, then I go to the preview, and then what we want to do first then is take a look at the histogram of this puppy, of that preview right there, and let's go ahead and auto clip it and then apply that and see what happens. Okay, there. So now we're actually starting to get a little bit of an image there just from adjusting the histogram. We can already see the central star, we can see the shock front, we can see the elongation of the nebula, and we're well on our way to making an astrophotograph here with raw data taken on a Canon camera, imported into a Linux system as a Canon raw image.cr2 file, adjusted and stacked into, there were multiple images like that, stacked into one composite image by the Nebulosity program that I showed you earlier, which is a Windows program, and then worked on by PixInsight LE, which is a Windows program. This PixInsight LE has 96 bits per pixel math all the way through until you do the compression for JPEG or display. So we're working here with the absolute full 15.5 bit per pixel resolution per color times 4 per image pixel for, that's RGB and luminance for the actual pixel that comes in, or the actual image that comes out when we start doing our editing and fixing up with the high dynamic range image editing programs like PixInsight LE. Okay, so anyhow, that's that. And here's one of the kind of glitches where you get a few little error messages when you close PixInsight LE, but who cares? It works. All right. Okay, so there we have that, and now I'm going to go back to browsing the web and having fun with my Linux computer. And you will note that we did all that without interacting with the command line at all, except through a graphical user interface. In fact, I have not taken my hand off of my little Logitech trackball right here, the whole time we've been talking. Thank you for watching.